Hi, I'm Wayne Jennings, and today I'm checking out a couple of solar lights made by the SOLIGHT company. And the great thing about these, especially when you're camping, is you don't have to worry about taking batteries because they don't need batteries. They have solar panels on the top, so they get all their energy from the sun. And then inside are little LED lights, which will light up your campsite pretty much all night long. So the folks at SOLIGHT Design sent me two of their solar lights to check out. This one is called the Solar Helix, and this one is called the Twilight. They're both basically solar powered LED lights, but they have a few different features. So let's check out this one first, the Solar Helix. And the first thing I want to say is I'm very impressed by the packaging, or the lack of packaging. It doesn't come in a big cardboard box or big plastic container. It's basically comes in this little plastic storage sleeve, which you can keep to store your product when you're not using it. So that's a great idea. That's good to see. Now, as you can see, the light is pretty small when it's folded up, but it unfolds really easily. You just kind of give this one a little twist. There's a little tiny hole in there that lets some air in. Just kind of give it a tug, and it basically turns into a pretty rigid cube, like so. There's a little handle on the top, so you can hang it in the middle of your tent or from a tree or something. And basically, there's not a lot to it. The top is the solar panel that takes the sun's energy, stores it in a battery in there. And there's a little push button on the front here that activates the light. Now, this one produces what they call warm light, and it's 3 levels. So there's a low level, as you can see there, a nice glow. The whole thing glows nicely. And there's a higher level. So you see that gives, even in daylight, it gives quite a bit of light here. And then you push it again and it flashes, you know, if you need to signal someone. Or I see that could be useful, say if you're going out from your campsite at night to do some fishing, you know, in the canoe, and you just leave this flashing at your campsite so it can guide you back in. That's probably a good idea for something like that. And you know, when you're done, it just folds up. You just kind of twist it, force the air out, and nice and tiny. Now this one, they say if it has a full charge, which is basically 8 hours, then it's good for 8 to 12 hours of light, depending on what setting you have. So basically, you just, during the day, you can, you know, if you're backpacking, maybe have it in the back, on the top of your backpack, or if you're in a canoe or kayak, have it laid out in the deck. So during the day, it's going to get all the sun it needs to keep powering you at night. Now let's check out the other one here. This is the Twilight model, and it's a little different because it actually has some red LEDs inside it. Again, the packaging, you can just keep that for storage purposes. This one also turns into a cube, but it's just shaped a little different. This one, you just pull it straight out, like so, and it's got 2 little holes that suck the air in as you pull it. Then this one seems to be made of a slightly different material. It almost looks like a ripstop kind of material, but again, it's very rigid. You know, once it's puffed up. This one has 2 handles, one on the top and one on the bottom, so you have different options for hanging that, I suppose. And like the other one, solar panel on the top to absorb the sun's energy, and a little switch in the middle. And I'll show you, this one has a red light. So there's a series of red LEDs in there. I actually really like the red lights, especially when, say I'm in the tent at night and there's someone else in the tent with me. If you turn a white light on, it can be very disturbing, wake up the person beside you. I find the red light is much easier, and it's still bright enough that you can see what you're doing inside the tent. There's also a flashing red, which is good for, you know, if you have to signal someone. Red is always, you know, associated with distress. So if you need to, hey, I'm over here, look at my flashing light, that's going to catch someone's attention. But this also has the white light, 2 levels, the low and the high. And unlike the other one is what they call warm light. This is more of a cool light. But again, still a fair amount of light. As you can see, even out here in the daylight, it's casting a fair amount of light. and that's plenty of light to read a novel at night. And this one will last, it says 4 hours at full power, 6 hours at the lower light setting. So it doesn't last quite as long. It has a smaller solar panel on the top, that's probably why. But great little lights. And again, this just folds up when you're all done and doesn't take up much room at all. Now, here are some specifications for these solar-powered lights. The Twilight model unfolds into a 3.5-inch square, weighing just 1.8 ounces. It features 6 red and white LEDs with an output rating of 45 lumens. It takes 8 hours to fully charge and will give run times of 4 hours on high, 6 hours on low, and 7 hours using just the red LEDs. This unit retails for around $20 US. The Solar Helix model is a little bit bigger, opening up to a 4.3-inch cube and weighing in at just 2.6 ounces. It contains 10 warm white LEDs with an output rating of 90 lumens. It also takes 8 hours to fully charge, but lasts longer, up to 12 hours on the low setting and 8 hours on high output. It retails for around $25 US. Links to these products can be found in the description below this video. Happy camping, everybody!